back to another dazzling episode of Bedazzled with me, Zora Amin. As you can tell with the excitement in my voice, we are here at the Expo 2020 Dubai, and आज हमने सोचा आपको थोड़ी outdoor की सैर करवा लेते हैं. So as you know, there are about 190 countries participating in the Expo 2020. Our aim for the day is to cover as many as possible. So let's get right to it. Is the Singapore Pavilion, and as you can see, it is so very green because it primarily focuses on its sustainability. पर अगर कोई मुझसे पूछेगा तो एक सेंटेंस में मैं इसे डिस्क्राइब करूंगी, it is nothing but a breath of fresh air.
I love the green nature because they are about Earth. So walking through the pavilion was really nice. You get to learn a lot about energy preservation, flora, fauna, and it was really nice. I really enjoyed them.
Which is your most favorite out of all the pavilions you visited?
I would say UAE.
UAE was your favorite?
Yes.
Oh, that is a proud moment for all of us right now. Thank you so much for talking to us,
Thank
Eric.
you so
It was
much.
a pleasure.
Thank you.
Is this your first time visiting the expo?
For him, yes. For me, third time.
Third time. How
Yeah.
many pavilions have you visited so far?
Oh, I didn't count, but it's too many.
Too many. If you have to pick a favorite, which one would it be?
Till now, I can say Korea.
And why?
It was so interesting for me. Their shows, their technology, how they did.
So we're at the Aotearoa New Zealand Pavilion, and I've heard that the immersive experience in this one is something that you definitely can't miss out on. So let's go check it out. Hi Clayton, welcome to Bedazzled. My name is Zora. What, according to you, is the highlight of this New Zealand Pavilion?
So many highlights of the New Zealand Pavilion, but I'll tell you a little bit about our story. So the theme of our pavilion is care for people and place, and that's based on a Māori ethos, and the Māori are the indigenous people of New Zealand, a Māori ethos known as kaitiakitanga, which talks about caring for people and place for future generations, and that's really apt for us being in the sustainability district, because we're talking not only about caring for place, but how that relationship between people and place is just so important. If we look after nature, nature will look after us. And so the way we tell that story is with reference to a very special river in New Zealand, the Wanganui River.
Okay.
In 2017, that river was acknowledged as being part of the community, given the rights of a legal person. And so now, anybody that wants to draw from the river or put into the river must ask the trustees that have been appointed to represent the river.
Wow.
And there is a saying within the Wanganui people that the river is our essence. When it is healed, I am healed. We are healed.
Beautiful.
And so when you go into the New Zealand Pavilion, you'll initially see the story of the Wanganui River, and there's an incredible river room where the water falls from 10 metres either side of you. It's an amazing experience there. In our final room in the pavilion, we go through a series of stories about the innovation that New Zealand companies have come up with that also cares for people in place, whether that's in the fishing industry or the health industry, space industry, the food and agriculture industry, and we pulled out a number of those innovations that demonstrate that care for people in place.
I love how there's so much emotional effort that's been put into the making of this pavilion. Thank you so much for talking to us, Clayton. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So our last stop for the day at the Expo 2020 is the Spain Pavilion. वैसे स्पेन से आपको क्या याद आता है? स्पेन का टोमेटिनो फेस्टिवल वो यहाँ पे नहीं है, बुलफाइट वो भी यहाँ पे नहीं है. But it is all about biodiversity, education, energy and sustainability. So check it out for yourself. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson said, one of the most important things about being low on mental frame of mind you can realize is that you are not alone. You're not the first to go through it, and you're not going to be the last to come through. Vidya has more to say on it.
So last week, we learned about looping thoughts and how to change our thoughts from I can't to I can. So today, I'm going to show you how things that you say to yourself, whether they are good or bad, can affect your mind and your body, and also how to teach your children to install their own cheerleader. So we all know about cheerleaders who we see at sporting events and other competitions who cheer their team even when their team is losing. They support their team unconditionally. Now, we're going to get your child to have their own cheerleader who will stand by them, installing powerful beliefs and making them confident and believe in themselves all the time. So I'm going to demonstrate to you with my son here. I want you to now think of bad thoughts about yourself. I'm horrible, I'm stupid, I can't do anything right. So now I push his hand and you see how easily his hand goes down, because bad thoughts make our body and mind weak. Now let's see the effect of good thoughts. So now I want you to think of all the good things about yourself. I'm amazing, I'm awesome, I'm superb, I'm enough. And now try pushing the hand down. It simply doesn't go down. That shows the power of good thoughts. Now I want you to sit down with your child or your teenager, take a piece of paper and write down all the bad things that they think about themselves. It could be, I'm stupid, I'm not good enough. Give it a minute or two and write down all these bad things. Then I want your child to tear this apart and say this while tearing. That's not me. That will never be me. Now I want your child or your teenager to write down all the good things about him or her. I'm amazing, I'm awesome, I'm superb, I'm enough. We were all born with a perfect body and a perfect mind. We had an inbuilt cheerleader who always supported us, encouraged us. Each time we tried to crawl or tried to get up, the cheerleader said, "You can do it, come on." But unfortunately, for many of us, as we grew up, the inner cheerleader's voice came down and the inner critic got stronger. So homework for this week for you and your child is to help them create their own cheerleader. It could be a favorite pet, a superhero, or even somebody from the family. So every day, ask your child to pick up one good thing about him or her and let the cheerleader remind them about this good thing. For teenagers, you can actually remind them through an app. There are many apps available where there's a pop-up that comes up every hour reminding them how good they are, how enough they are.
Fashion Week Dubai 2021 goes on the floors this week, and the organizers held a press conference for the same. Let's have a look.
You know what happened due to COVID? All the industries went down, everyone was sitting at home, and that's when the idea came across that, why don't we put a fashion week for the city to bring the designers back to the platform they've been looking forward for.
It's been a long ride for me, and I wanted to do something that was special. I didn't want someone to come to me and say, let's do a cut and paste job from one of the fashion weeks in Paris or something like that. I wanted to give us an identity, me an identity. So I wanted to take designers, get into their heads and do a fabulous theatrical music, fashion, all mixed together, the three components, to produce something that's unique and special.
Hopefully you would find it to be a beautiful fusion of both heritages and cultures into a pret a couture luxury streetwear line.
Reimagines a very rich and empowered feminine Emirati and Uzbek roots and heritage, which that's our background, Emirati and Uzbek. Thank you.
Everyone are melting together to create a beautiful show for Fashion Week Dubai. So for me as a designer, I'm very excited to create something that is beautiful, something very red carpet, something that each and everyone should dream only the most beautiful, the most extravagant, the most unimaginable beautiful dresses. Because that, for me, people should be looking at beautiful dreams. People should be aspiring. We should not be focusing, or I should not be mentioning here what's happening in the world right now, but I want everyone in that show to be dreaming.
I've been waiting for this, so the day that I got a call from Kevin and from Seth that we are coming up with Fashion Week and such kind of talent is putting their heads together, it was an instant yes. It was a no-brainer, let's put it this way.
Urdu Flix, Pakistan's first OTT platform, was launched early this year with a slew of dramas and films of different genres. They were here to announce their latest new series, The Malik Mirza Show, with none other than, take a look for yourself. Hi Sania and Shoaib, welcome to Bedazzled. My name is Zora. Firstly, I'd like to say both of you are looking absolutely stunning. I love how you're looking, your earrings are beautiful. Asha, so let's begin with you telling us the name of your show.
It's called the Mirza Malik Show. And I guess you heard some stuff at the press con, but we're very excited to do a show. It's something that we've never done before together, so we're really looking forward to it.
And what can we expect as viewers from the show?
A lot of fun and a lot of laughter and a lot of love. I think that is something that is very important to us, even in our personal lives. And I feel that it would be amazing to have that in the show as well and to incorporate it. And we're just going to go out there and enjoy ourselves.
And I've heard that you're going to have guests from India, Pakistan, across works of art and sports and cinema. But if you Hollywood se ek name lena ho as a guest, who would it be and why? Anyone?
It should be Will Smith, because we both love him. Or let's see.
Interesting choice. Okay, a quick question. Can we expect Izhan to make his on-screen debut on the show?
Probably not, I'll be honest. He's 3 years old, so we try to keep him as far away as possible. On a serious note, no, probably, I don't think so.
Okay, one last question. If you have to give one piece of advice to budding artists in the region, what would it be?
Spread love.
And peace.
Yeah, when you spread love, then I think this one word looks after itself, and I guess this is what I can see is missing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us on Bedazzled. It was a pleasure talking to both of you. A wise woman once said, to be successful in life, the first thing you need to do is fall in love with your work. Let's get Shane and Peter to elaborate on Career Tip Time.
It's Career Tip Time. And today we'll be talking about freelancing. This is one of the fastest growing parts of the employment market. Freelancers are typically employed for short-term contracts to do a specific process or a specific project for a company. Today, we'll look at whether being a freelancer is right for you.
Freelancing, if you're in transition, is definitely a fantastic option, and you should approach it with a tremendous amount of professional rigor. What I mean by that is, don't just take this is just something I'm doing part-time. Take it as a professional full-time job. Go get a very nice business card made. Get a website made. Pick your colors, get a logo, brand your LinkedIn. Make it look as professional as possible, because this could be the segue that you need to get into the full-time job that you're looking for. And it's also going to be a reflection of how professional you are as a person. When people say, okay, they're doing their own thing, what does it look like? Wow, they are really professional people. So remember that. And then once you do get a job, you now have to consider, what do you do with your freelancing gig?
And that's one of the important considerations. Most employers still expect that if they employ someone in a full-time role, that person only works for that one company. And so most employers are going to expect you to give up your freelancing gig. if you want to continue with your freelancing, it's my advice, it's really important to have a clear expectation setting meeting with your employer so that they know that you're still doing work on the side and that they can be confident that perhaps you're doing it in the weekend or in the evenings and isn't going to interfere with your main work. But it is important to understand the importance of discretionary effort. In most organizations, the people who get ahead are the people who put in that extra effort. Perhaps they work nights, they work the weekends, and so it's difficult to put in high amount of discretionary effort for your main employer while at the same time being a freelancer. So if you're going to try and do that, make sure that you set very clear expectations for yourself, for your employer, and for the freelance clients that you bring on board.
This is Shane
and Pete,
wishing all your dreams come true.
How would you like to watch movies? In the comfort of your home or in the luxury of cinema? संतोष से जानते हैं. Popcorn वैसे दोनों जगह मिल जाता है.
Hello everyone, welcome to Watch Me If You Can. This is Santosh. आप लोग कैसे हैं इस हफ्ते? We're going to be talking about the latest release on cinemas, Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui. This film is directed by Abhishek Kapoor, whose last outing was Kedarnath, which is a wonderful film. Before that, he made Fitur, Kai Poche. He's made some wonderful films. Rock On, who can forget the National Award-winning Rock On. So what is Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui about? It's about this bodybuilder played by Ayushmann Khurrana and a wonderful transformation who falls in love with this girl, Vani Kapoor, and what happens in their love story. It's not a long film, barely 1 hour 45 minutes, less than 2 hours. So do give it a watch. It has wonderful music. Music by Sachin Jigar. Kalle Kalle is my favorite song, sung by Priya Saria herself. She has even written the song. It also features Kamaljeet Singh in a very beautiful role. It also features this girl from Chak De India, जो पंजाबन थी ना, जो हॉकी सब पे मारती है गुस्से में. She plays Ayushmann's older sister and quite a funny one. So do give it a watch. It's playing in cinemas. It's a wonderful film and इसमें भी एक problem है. Ayushmann picks stories which always have some kind of a problem. So there was this problem kya hai series of videos on YouTube. Do give it a look. But it's a great film. Vani Kapoor has stepped out of her comfort zone and a role that most heroines would have turned down. So do give it a watch. Our next one is not a review but more of a tribute to the mega star of Asia, the one and only superstar Rajinikanth. Born on December 12, 1950, the megastar turned 71. And what we're going to do here is speak about top 10 films of Rajinikanth, my particular preferences, and in no particular order. So everybody knows Rajinikanth as this style icon, the way he flings his cigarette or throws objects in the air and fights and jumps in the air and fights and all that. No, there's a lot more to Rajinikanth as an actor. So let's start with a film, a very old film of his, Netrikan, which means the third eye. It's available on one of the OTT platforms. In this, you have Rajinikanth, the son. Coincidentally, the son's name is Santosh. Okay? And he has a father who's a womanizer, a wayward father, and a very obedient and pious son. And it's a clash of ideologies between the father and son. And it's the father's role that Rajinikanth would have played probably when he was 25. But it is impeccable. He's paid it to the hilt to the galleries, and you see this frustrated old man who cannot keep his libido under control. So it's a wonderful film. Take a look. The next film I'm going to be talking about is Moondra Mugam, Three Faces. So Rajinikanth in a triple role. It was remade in Hindi, not dubbed, mind you, remade in Hindi as Johnny Janardhan with three Rajinikanths. There's something particularly good about this film in Hindi, that all the actors who've played triple roles in the past, be it Dilip Kumar and Bairag or Amitabh Bachchan and Mahan, were super flops, duds, they never worked. Johnny Janardhan is the only Hindi film with an actor featuring in three roles, which was a huge success. So you have a father and you have two sons, one of in opposite sides of the law. One of them is a saint. He actually is a saint who then becomes a normal person, and the other one is just a ruffian and they don't realize that they are brothers, and the other one is just brainwashed by the bad guy who killed his father and all that. It's a typical 80s potboiler masala film, but it's a wonderful film. Seeing your favorite superstar in 3 roles, do give it a look. So at number 8, I'll speak about the most popular, Andha Kanun. Everybody knows about this film. Rajnikant, Amitabh, Hema Malini, everybody. It's very popular. Okay, number 7 is one of my favorites, Giraftar, because it's the only film in Indian cinema featuring the 3 superstars of India, Amitabh Bachchan, Rajnikant and Kamal Haasan. Though Rajni and Kamal don't share screen space, but Rajnikant, even in a small role, is amazing. It's fun to watch. At 6, I'm going to be talking about one of his earliest films called, so it was made as in Hindi as Solva Savan, featuring Amol Palekar, but originally in Tamil it was Padinar Vaidinile. It was directed by K. Balachandar and featured Kamal Haasan as a mentally retarded person, and Rajnikant played a womanizer once again, but he was fascinated by Sridevi, Kamal Haasan and Rajnikant. It is one of Rajnikant's finest performances. At number 5 is a Tamil film yet again called Mullum Malarum, which was remade in Hindi starring Mithun Chakravarti, called Pyari Behna. It's about this drunkard, carefree attitude guy who loses his hand, but the story revolves about him caring for his sister. It's a wonderful, wonderful film, some endearing performances. At number 4, you have another Tamil film yet again. Ab Tamil films itne sare unhone kiye to kya bataun main, called Moondru Mudichu. It means 3 knots, in which Sridevi plays Rajnikant's stepmother only to extract revenge from him. Wonderful plot, isn't it? Take a look. At number 3 is my all-time favorite film, Hum, in which Rajnikant is once again with Amitabh and Govinda this time, directed by Mukul Anand. The film is a classic, it's an epic. Take a look. At number 2, we have yet another Tamil film called Padayappa, which is predominantly the clash between Rajnikant and Ramya Krishnan. It's immensely popular, directed by Suresh Krishna. It has some wonderful songs. And at number 1, we have the immensely popular and award-winning Indiran, which was dubbed in Hindi, called Robot, in which Rajnikant plays the lead along with Aishwarya Rai. He plays the lead, he also plays a negative role. These are my top 10. Do take a look, and wishing the Talaivar a very, very happy birthday. I'll see you all next week with Spider-Man. Watch me if you can.
Well, that's it on Bedazzled this week. We hope you enjoyed. As always, don't forget to share your valuable feedback on our social media handles. Bedazzled again, same time next week with me, Zora Amin.